Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So congratulations. Obviously, it's been some time since you won the award. I wanted to say it now in case we don't ever meet in person, you know,
Thank
for your
you.
award. So obviously, you've worked with Joaquin once before, but it was so long ago. What was it like coming back, working with him now, but as the lead?
Well, it was very different because I don't know if the first time it was one line and it was like, well, let's go to the party was the line. So now it was more like meat to the bone. It was a lot more to do. And yeah, I remember he said when we did the first movie I was in with a very, very small role, he said like, oh, she should have a lead. But I never thought he would go through with it, of course. But yeah.
You got this role. A lot of people can relate to this because, whether it's a guy or man or woman, you never know what's going to go through life. And you don't
Mm.
want to be confined to making quick decisions. And you get through this movie, how else, when people hear the title, they don't know what to expect,
Yeah.
So how do you define this movie and who you're playing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, first of all, the title is, in Norwegian, we have a saying. It's like, I feel like the worst person in the world if you done something stupid or you hurt someone else, or it's a very like catchy saying in Norwegian. But yeah, for the second part of your question is the first time I read the script, I didn't really. It was very hard to tell who Julie was. Like, I loved the situations and the script, and I also love that I didn't know who she was. She's like an enigma, and I thought I just go with that and be curious and be like asking the questions while I do the scene. So Joachim is also, he doesn't have any answers to anything in his script either. It's just questions and conversations about what love should be or what life should be, or why does relationship get so messy, and why do we make the same mistakes, and why is it so hard to choose anything. So I think the most important thing was the how we did it together, like the dynamic between the characters was what the scene was. And yeah, just to lose control and be in it.
And enigma is probably the right word because as you're reading the script, to decide whether or not you're going to do it, it's fascinating because you don't know where she's going to go. The minute she decides she doesn't want to practice medicine, off to the races you go.
Yeah.
It's like a train that doesn't stop. It's going here and there. And for you, is this something that, how do you relate to this character? Like, were you at a point where you didn't know where you were going to go? Was it your career or life? Did you talk to anybody? Obviously, there's what Joaquin has on script, and then there's what through life.
Well, I can relate to her in the sense that it's always kind of this existential view of the situation I'm in. So it's a lot of like big thoughts of where I am and who I am in this situation. And at the same time, Julie has that, and she's at the same time very in a situation as well. She's very vulnerable and present in the situation. So she has the combination of those two, which makes it it's a very free space to be, because you can go between these states of mind the whole time. Yeah, and I can relate to that, to the way she is thinking, what drives her, and how the way she chooses things.
What's a better word? What's a better word to describe her? Happy-go-lucky or free-spirited?
That's a good question. Maybe happy-go-lucky. I'm just taking one of them.
Because you never know. It's like, the thing about Julie is that, like, as you watch her, you say to yourself, she doesn't want to be confined. It's a person who's not ready. And then you never know for anybody through life when they're ready for anything. Take a new job, marriage, having kids. And as people watch this movie unfold, I'm sure there's a lot of people who went through that and throughout their own stages, as far as I've been there, I can relate, you know. So, as the movie's been played at different festivals and has gotten the applause, that's probably because people have seen themselves in this and they applauded your performance because they were like, hey, we don't know where it's going to go, but I'm fascinated to watch where it's going.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as an actress, how was it for you knowing that you're pretty much on over 90% of the page?
Yeah. It's yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, the thing you said about the way you relate because of the choices that she makes, and like all the aspects of life, like you said, like the marriage, having kids, like doing a job. I think that's the core also. Like you can't know what your choice is before after you make the choice, so it's actually impossible to make a choice, like a reflected choice, because you think you know what you're going through and going to go through, but it's never what you think it is it? It's just, it's a mess. And I'm just I've surrendered. It's chaos all the way, and I think it's never going to stop. And that's very liberating with this movie. It's like you're gonna like make a fool of yourself and do the wrong thing and make the wrong choices, but it's okay. That's what Julie teaches us.
Since May, obviously, and this movie's played at festivals, a lot of people have been wanting to see it. How does that make you feel as an actress that you've been working for some time, but here in the lead role and you're on the cover of the poster and people are clamoring to see this movie? Like I said, you've gotten the awards. How's your psyche holding up?
I'm trying to hold my psyche like down to earth. I've no, I think it's the whole vibe of the set and the film was that it was collective work, so it's never been about me. And I still try to keep, like, I love that I get to talk about the film and that people see the film, so I want to like be out there and talk about it, but it isn't about me. So I'm just you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like yeah.
In the process of making this movie, what did you learn as an actress that you can take on to your next project?
Well, I learned how much I can lose control and not decide on what to do, and that can make it even more nuanced. If you decide on something in beforehand and try to do that, try to go through with an emotion or something specific, it can be it can like strain you, or but it can be very nuanced if you're just present and relaxed. That's maybe the most important thing I learned.
Mhm. And throughout this movie, was there any particular scene that stood out for you that you enjoyed doing outside of the other scenes?
Oh, it's so many good scenes. It was of course amazing running through the whole city when it's frozen, like all the extras, they're being like taught how to stand still in a specific
Mhm.
way, and stopping traffic, running through it. That would, yeah, it felt very like epic and fantastic.
Fantasy wise.
Huh?
It felt like a fantasy, like, oh, time has stopped.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But either way, congratulations on this movie and the rewards that you've been getting. Obviously, hopefully, we'll talk down the road. Maybe continue with this movie or other projects. Keep it up wherever you're at. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Bye.